I am Sara Raney, and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube. And I hope that what I'm doing and giving you this information does help you in your struggle, because I know what a struggle it really is. I lost my child. I am a victim too. Now, let's talk about the Dram board today. Now, it's often referred to the Alcohol Beverage Control ABC board or a similar regulatory authority depending on the state. Now, it is not in all states. It happened to be in Texas. That's where my son was murdered at. And I became familiar with it. It is responsible for overseeing and regulating the sale of alcohol within its jurisdiction. Now, they ensure that establishments serving alcohol comply with laws designed to prevent overserving the sales to minors, including regulations enforced under the dram shop laws. Well, in my case, they did not do any investigation for 6 months. Now, what do you think could have happened with all that evidence? Like I've said over and over and over again, victims have no right. Now, this board monitors licensed establishments, conducts investigations, 6 months later, and enforces violation penalties. By the way, the reason why they said that it took so long to do it, they didn't have enough people. If I hear that one more time, not enough qualified people to do the job, I think I will scream. Because the probation officers will say the same thing. The parole officers will say the same thing. The DA will say the same thing. They don't have enough people qualified to do the job. Now, evidence for dram shop claims is typically collected through various means, including surveillance footage. Now, what happens with video footage? It's erased and, from the established credit card receipts. Well, now, if they keep them, yes. Showing alcohol purchases. Testimony from witnesses. Now, those two, I think, is what helped me. Such as bartenders or patrons who observe the intoxicated individual being served. The only problem is the bartenders in some cases can also be taken to court and liable. Now, investigators may also view police reports, social media reports, or medical records to establish the intoxicated state of the individual at the time they were served. Now, the board collaborates with law enforcement and victims to build a case when alcohol serving establishments contribute DUI-related tragedies. The dram shop law is not, like I said, a federal law. Rather, a state-level regulation, meaning existence and enforcement vary from state to state. Everything varies from state to state. This is why, again, I say over and over and over and over and over again, you need to get a civil attorney that will protect your rights within the state that the horrible crash took place. For some states, such as Nevada, do not have a dram shop law in place, which limits the legal recourse for victims for DUI fatalities in those jurisdictions. Now, I live in Nevada. And we just passed a law saying that cannabis is legal here. And I understand they're opening up cafes here where they serve cannabis and alcohol. Let's put it this way. Victims have no rights here in Nevada. No rights whatsoever. Now, in contrast, states like Texas have a law, but enforcement can be slow and consistent. In my case, in Texas, it took the Grand Board a representative 6 months before they initiated the investigation. Like I said before, what could disappear in that period of time? This delay allowed critical time for evidence to be destroyed, altered, or conveniently forgotten as memories became selective. You know that person that has a selective memory. And when you think about it, if a bartender can get in trouble for over-serving, they're going to have a selective memory too. The lack of urgency hindered the pursuit of justice and highlighted how these delays can protect negligent establishments instead of holding them accountable for their actions. Now, the broader impact. Now, this is kind of a step toward prevention. For those of us affected by DUI fatalities, like in my case, my beautiful boy, Kenley, the fight is not only about our loss, but it's about preventing others from experiencing the same pain. Now, the Dram shop laws offer part of the solution to the more significant problem of drunk driving. By holding alcohol serving business accountable. And now that includes, say for instance, someone goes out and gets drunk at a Raiders game. I'm just going to use Raiders game. It could be any of the sports teams here. You cannot hold that establishment liable here in this place, in this state. If they serve too much alcohol and someone gets killed, you can hold them, because we do not have the Graham law. By holding alcohol serving business accountable, we can send a message that reckless alcohol services will not be tolerated and that these establishments must take their role in public safety seriously. It's not just about the driver who caused the crash. It's about the systems that failed to prevent it. When businesses are vigilant and responsible, they help prevent impaired drivers from being held behind the wheel in the first place. Now, this is why I say to you, we have elections coming up. Please just don't go down just check off your own party or the party that you've been with or whatever the case may be. Check to see what they are doing, what they really truly believe in. Don't assume. Because if our political people have a way of benefiting them, they will not think about you. I'm sorry, I wish it would be different, but that's the way it is right now. So please be careful when you are electing people, because this is very important, because every 30 seconds, someone is hurt by a drunk driver or killed and left victims like me. Now, you do have a voice. You do have a voice, like I said. Go vote. Make sure you know who you're voting for. Not what you think they know or what you think. Check to see what they really have done. Now, as a victim of a DUI fatality, believe me, it's easy to feel powerless. But the laws like the Dram shop law give us a voice in the legal system if it is in our state. They remind us that we have the right to seek justice from the driver responsible for the crash and those enabled in their reckless behavior. This is why, again, you need to hire a civil attorney in that area, wherever you're at. Those drivers need to be held accountable in one way, shape, or form. Well, nothing can bring back my baby, my son. Holding all parties accountable provides a sense of closure and helps prevent future tragedies. Dennis Rodriguez Abeda Jr., who murdered my son, is in jail. He has parole December 6, 2026, and I'm going to be there. and ensuring that he will serve the additional 5 years that I got him. I got him because he could have got probation. That's another story that I have been trying to tell you all along. You have to be aware and participate. You have to be the greasy wheel that gets the grease. Now, advocating for the enforcement of Dram shop laws is a way to honor our loved ones and ensure that their deaths are not in vain. If more businesses realize the consequences of overserving alcohol, we could make communities safer and prevent other families from enduring the same grief. You know, I just said that, but I don't know how possible that is, particularly in Nevada. This is the entertainment capital of the world, and they're bringing in every sports team in the world. And alcohol, well, it's gotten to be ridiculous here. I won't even drive anymore down on the strip because of it. Because of all the tragedies we've had with alcohol. And we never hear about it, by the way, because there's so many of it, so much of it. It's become a normal thing. But in some states, you do have the Dram law. The Dram shop law is a crucial tool for victims of DUI fatalities, if it is in that state. It enables us to seek justice and accountability from those who contribute to the dangerous culture of over-serving alcohol, and there's many of them. I've seen it myself. As victims, we must understand our rights and use this law for our own sake and to prevent future tragedy. Now, there may be other laws in other states. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody, get across to everybody. Every state is different in everything. That is why it's important to get an attorney within the state that your crash happened. And sometimes within your own state too. Though we cannot bring back our loved ones, we can ensure that their deaths lead to meaningful changes and keep their name alive. This is what I'm trying to do with this YouTube series. My son was someone who helped people. He was known for that. In honor of Kenley, I am doing this YouTube channel, which is what he would want me to do. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope I shed some type of light and hope to each and every one of you that's lost a loved one. Again, I am Sara Raney, the proud mother of Dr. Kenley Jean Raney, who lost his life on January 25th, 2019, to a drunk driver. Thank you.